Hi all, right back with more The Other Side of the Hill. So that's my part 45. Just come straight back from finishing recording part 44. Um, Still cringing about what happened down here. And yeah, I mean, it feels like a huge blunder that, so I don't know. If anybody wants to comment on if that is a huge blunder, if it was a really bad thing to do. It feels like it was a really bad thing to do, and I realise now that I could have got my armies out of there. And I think I'd thought about moving the armies out at one point, and then realised that I would have had to take 3 retreats if there's no armies in here. But so what? 3 retreats, and I want to say the OB would get questioned, but remember the AG header's going to go away, or when the armies move away. So he's not going to get questioned. The OB might be questioned, but turns out the OB is already questioned at the moment anyway. But I just would have been better just to get out of there. But now we're trapped. So okay, yeah, feels like a bad move for sure. But there's nothing we can do about it now. We need to try and fight our way out of that, but that's going to take time and not going to be easy to do either. So okay, so where are we? We're in the summer of 1943 in the first operations phase. Remember there's 2. We're in a strategic warfare phase. We got this back up to 3. We've not had it at 4 yet, but maybe next, maybe in the fall we might. So, however, we're getting 3 dice, 3 white. Well, one's going to be grey because of that. The technology's in the one book. So 1 grey and 2 white. And then right, we've got 1 combat card left in the deck here. So we're going to have a nice fresh deck to check for landings coming up soon. Well, we've got an Axis Offensive to come first, right enough. Okay, so Strategic Warfare 1943. Oh, it's 4 dice. My. Card 17. 4 dice. Come on. Really? Look at that one's up to. It can go up to 5. And the most we're ever going to get is 4. I want to say the technology could move up to 2. I suppose. I want to say that I think there's 2 cards that move up again, so maybe it could be up to 3. But that's a lot of hard work, and you're not going to be able to do that until maybe the last year, I think. But 1943, 4 dice. Yeah, I mean it was 3 dice in 41, 42. So that's a bad card. Yeah. Okay. So 4 dice for them. Yeah, I can't see us getting through this because remember they've got 2 chances of hits where we only got 1. So 4 dice for them. 3 for us. Let's just do it then. Okay, here we go. Well, we got 3 hits out of 3 dice, so that's good. And I'll tell you what. Wow, we got lucky. They've got 3 as well. We've got a tank. Yeah, remember the star counts because they're in the war. So 3 hits each. That was very lucky, I think. 1, 2, 3. Tank doesn't count, and 3 for us. Yeah, so equal is no effect. Excellent. I'll take that because that could mess with. Well, look, it could have been. They could have had 4 hits. We could end up at 1 or 2 maybe, and I think it goes on the difference, doesn't it? Distribute the difference between the strategic warfare and the Germany air naval controls, which we don't want to mess with. So yeah, good result, good start then. Okay, so on to movement. Now I'm not sure if there's much going to happen here or not. Yeah, and this is probably now when we should move these armies out of there, Grant. No, you can't anymore. You goat. Right. Anyway, I'm not sure I'm going to move in. Let me pause and have a look. Yeah, I really don't think I want to move anything. Well, I mean, yes, I want to move these, but I can't. But apart from that, Turkey's got the 3 armies. I don't want to reduce that. 2 out of the 4 that we've got in the Eastern have 4 armies. The other 2 have 3. One of them is defending in Roth. The other one's not. So, but it does have 2 regular armies, Baltic States. Bush, I mean, no, I can start with Bush. What does he do? Roll 1 grey dice. If the result is a hit, cancel the reduction special effect. So he's pretty good. He's got a chance of something, although you need to have that effect on the card, don't you? But okay. And now hold on though, Grant. We are going on the offensive this year. This season. We don't need to push and do an awful lot though. Hang on, it's areas 1 to 11, is it? Yeah, so we can go Hungary because that's area 2. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Do we want to try and push into? I suppose we should try and. I mean, the other 2 cards are the Typhoon one and the Moscow. No, sorry. Typhoon one is the Moscow one, isn't it? Typhoons conquers the Moscow. The other one is the objective. There are 3 or fewer areas with Soviet alignment mark on the USSR. I don't see myself ever actually achieving that. So maybe we should go. Problem is, we go for Belarus into Moscow, and then Belarus still gets attacked from Ukraine. It's when you just lose every way, don't you? Whereas if we were going to Leningrad from the Baltic States, that's safer. But it doesn't really achieve. Yeah, and then also when you get into Moscow, you can get attacked from here as well. So, although in Leningrad you get attacked from there as well. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's going to affect main movement anyway. So let's just move on. I'm not going to move in. Right, command. Well, we've got some. Actually, we've not got a lot of questions. I'm seeing 2 question markers out there though, and only 1 general up here. That's because 1's the OB, I think. I've not moved his card up. I've got Kesselring being questioned. Well, he is up here. Right, what's the other one then? Von Kukler. Right, I've just not moved his card out of the in command bits. There he is. So Von Kukler, so he should be up here as well. Yeah, that's a good place. I would just put them above the areas that they should be. I think and that works quite well. Right, I think it's just now. Again, is there any vacancies? No, not at the moment. Not until we roll for these question generals. Yeah. Right, hang on. You did skip by air movement and strategic. I'm not going to move strategic level either. No, an air movement, I can't really. Oh, this is at 2. This is at 2. That's at 1. No, and we can't adjust that down the way. We don't need to adjust it back up the way. So, yeah, okay. We are in the command phase. So let's roll for these question generals then. So we've got Kesselring and Von Kukler, pretty good. Although Kesselring, very first question and roll he got was a 6. Right, Von Kukler's a 4, confidence-wise. So Kesselring's a distant. Actually, I want to say Von Kukler's a distant as well. He is. So he must have rolled a 4 as well. So they need to roll less than the number or they're going to be dismissed. Yeah, so hang on a sec. Yeah, so let's do Kesselring first then. He's got a confidence of 6, but he is dissident. He's got a dissident marker on him. So he needs less than a 6 or he's gone. Okay, here we go. Oh, you're having a laugh. You are having a laugh. Does he actually go away? Yeah, he does, grunt. That's so cruel. Come on. I want to say I've rolled 3 6s when I didn't want them, I think, in this game. Well, I mean, I rolled him before as a 6, the very first question, and he rolled a 6, and that's why he was dissident. So now he's dissident. Well, he's gone. Because he's dissident and we rolled the same, which would make him a dissident, he's already. Now this marker goes back to the available, so the slightly good thing about that is we have another marker there. But we've just lost a row B Sud. A row B Southern is gone. And, well, I don't know. I want to say there's some cards think that could bring somebody back, but so now that's, well, it's a vacancy, but he's the only one that was ever doing anything in that, he's the only one that can do anything there. So he's now his special was cannot be appointed head of the army group or activate the Sweden general, yeah. So he's dismissed. And right, okay, so we put a vacancy marker here, and not only that, we're gonna yet again increase our unrest by 1 and draw yet again another Black Orchestra card, which I will draw. Right, there's only 1 left in the deck now. I don't know, I think I was speaking about this before. Is this a normal sort of situation where you probably end up with most of the cards, or have I just been really unlucky with my dismissals? I don't know, I feel like I have been a bit unlucky with them. I mean, that felt pretty unlucky again to roll. The only thing that could roll was a 6. Okay, we've got Von Kukor as well, who's the AG head in Hungary. His confidence is a 4, but he's also dissident, so it's got to be less than a 4. A 4 won't do it. Right, so 1. So he's good. He becomes unquestioned again. I'll put the distant marker back on top of him again. Actually, no, I think it's better underneath, so I can see who he is. And I can see it stacked underneath anyway, so... Right, and he goes back in command, so... Yeah. His benefit is defending and rough, though, and we got retreated back because of the counter-attack. Yeah, we need to attack in there. We need to select Hungary as one of them, for sure. Yes, definitely. We're going back into... Was it the Bregen? The Breden? Sorry, I don't... It's right on the cut of the map. The Bregen, isn't it? Yeah, we want to get back in there. For sure. Yes, we do. Okay, so that's where one of the black pawns is going anyway, definitely. Okay, what are we at now? Right, we need the... Well, we need the general to go in here. So what is it again? Highest seniority in the available generals, or an activator in command with a seniority equal to or higher than the highest seniority available. Highest seniority available is a 6. Just a quick glance at the activated. I think they're all lower than a 6, to be honest. 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, yes. So I can't pick any of them. I mean, I could pick out of the ones that are in command, but yeah, again, this is probably a bit where you guys with a smart thinking would look into all the generals that are in command, maybe shimmy them about a little bit. I think I'm just going to look at my availables. So I've got this guy's defending in river. Remember, we can't find anybody that's going to do anything because only Kesselring could work there. He's defending in river on the western front. Am I ever going to need... Well, sorry, against the western front. Yeah, I mean, you could get pushed back to Istanbul here. We talked about being in Suez here. So, yeah, he does maybe have a possible use. Guderian, I think, is pretty good. Oh, do not apply a mandatory reduction in the head army group decides to conduct a second advance after combat. Well, I don't know if there's going to be much of that anyway. I mean, in the most of the attack. Well, hold on. Is that against? Yeah, it can be used in Western Front as well, Grant. Did I not talk about getting into Suez here? No, I didn't. Getting into Cairo, then attacking into Suez and advancing into Jerusalem, which would be a double advance. So Guderian could come in useful there. That is attacking into any. I mean, I'm just... Right, you know what? I think I'll put this guy in. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's good, but we're not going to see many black dice in the rest of this game, I don't think. I had +1 hit to access combat roll for every black die that is rolled. Yeah, Von Kleist, he's becoming the OB Sud. I think that makes sense. So yeah, Von Kleist. So he goes in the in command pile. He was one of our highest seniority. What's his name? Von Kleist. Right, give me a sec. When I play this game again, I'm going to sort these guys out and because the amount of time spent looking through all the counters, and they're all upside down. They're not even in facing the right way, so it's very difficult to find them. Anyway, that's him there. He's 16, obviously his confidence is 3. He's going to become the OB Sud, but he doesn't do anything. So, but somebody's got to go there, right? And then we could replace somebody with somebody else with a high seniority throughout the. But you know what? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. Right. So Axis offensive time. Where are we? Yeah, we started the video, Grant. Okay. Actually, I realise the combat deck is needing a reshuffle, so give me a second, I'll do that off camera. Okay, a nice new, fresh combat deck. Oh, goody. Right. Axis offensive segment, place combat pawns. Black axis pawns placed in each area listed. If no available combat pawns are placed, reduce fanaticism value by 1, discard active military directive. And also, I can't remember where the bit was. Yeah, let's say it's when we play the military directive, isn't it? If we don't play one in the summer, we take the hit then. But we did play one. And we are going to play at least one pawn. I don't need to place them all. As long as I place one. It's not so clear on the sequence. The play cards there about that one, but I remember, I'm pretty sure if I dig into the rules it'll tell me that I don't need to play all, but as long as I play one. Right, did I not say we definitely want to place one here? Yeah, and then just try and get into Debrecen again. Try and take that sector back. So do we want to try and push into the Moscow area? Remember, we've also... Now, hold on, no, Grant. We've just seen the counter-attack card. So we're not going to see it again this year. So there's no worries there. So as long as we don't retreat ourselves in any of these two areas, we're going to succeed at Barbarossa 1. Okay? Yeah, both areas are in river. Well, I'll tell you what, this one's into rough, but then into rough means that they get an extra dice. And we can all have 3 armies there. But the good thing about that one is we're not going to get attacked in the Baltic States. So we can push all 3 armies in. But, like we've talked about, the next military directive card is probably getting into Moscow. That's you know what? Oh no, they can attack from there. Ugh. I was going to say they are. Ideally, the way to do this is go from Baltic States into Leningrad and then come down into Moscow, so that and leave Belarus like that. I mean, it all sounds good. It all sounds good, but however, both I was looking at this, thinking the Urals, whereas no, hold on. Yeah, no. Whereas this one here, we said the Soviet can't attack into here. This one in the Urals says that the Germans can't come into here. However, the Urals can still attack into Leningrad and into Moscow. There's nothing to restrict that because it's just another Soviet area. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. I don't like it. I don't want to come out of there. I just want to sit there. We've only got 3 armies up in the Baltic States, so that's probably bad thinking. I probably should have moved an army, but then I do need to defend as well. So do we do this, maybe? An attack into Luga, which is rough, which gives them an extra dice on top of how many they're getting. Ugh, I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to attack from Belarus into Moscow because I'm then going to have to split my armies up. It's just horrible. Yeah, I can see. I'm starting to see how this should have went, and this is probably what Barbarossa should have went like in 1941 when it was easier to do it as well. As obviously, the years go on, it gets harder. The cards are tougher. You know, we should have been in Ukraine right now, so allowing us from Belarus into Moscow and pushing into there and pushing into there. Yeah, that's what should have happened. So in actual fact, we need to sit in Belarus until this comes into here. Then we can move into there. Yeah, that's why it should have happened way back. It's quite nice to see because I was talking about replayability, and although again Martin had pointed out these variations you can set up at the beginning and whatever, because I've done things in a non-historical way, it's going to be interesting to go back, play the game again, and try and do it the way it was done historically, you know, and that might be better. I think I'm only placing the 2 pawns. That's 1s and 2, 1s and 9, 1 to 11. Yeah, I mean, I could go from Belarus into Ukraine as well, but that's just the same, you know. And then I'm going to split my armies up. The other options into the Black Sea from Romania, Bulgaria. That's splitting my armies up again because Ukraine connects into there. So again, that's not any good. Right, I'm just going to go with the 2. Now, the other thing is, remember, Grant, you've got 2 operations phases. Well, that's a point then. So what happens if I didn't want to place a pawn in the second operations phase? Would that be penalised there as well? Right, it tells us in the rules here somewhere. It's not obligatory to place all Axis combat pawns on the map, but if the LKW does not place at least 1 combat pawn, you must subtract 1 from fanaticism value and discard the active military directive card. Right, I'm not sure there then. So, or maybe be leaving a question here. I might need to look more into this. If we were, because the video will probably be wrapped up before the second operations phase anyway. I've placed at least one pawn here. We're in the summer, we played a military directive, not penalise there. I'm placing at least one pawn here, so I don't need to discard my military directive card and there's no fanaticism hit. In the second operations phase though, my assumption was these combat pawns just come back to here and I've got 3 again. Do I have to place 1 again in the second operations phase? It could well be that's yes you do. But somebody knows, 25-minute mark. Somebody can confirm that that's right, or is it happy enough that I've placed 1 in the first operations phase? And this feels like they're 2 separate phases, so I would need to place 1 again. Well, let's think if you would need to place 1 again. I don't know. Well, you could try and come into Ukraine, I suppose, or you could push. Assuming you actually get into Luga, you could push into Novgorod. Yeah, okay, it's quite possible we'll place another one. I don't see myself placing that 3rd one just now, so I'm just going to leave that at that. I'm going to leave it with just the 2. Okay, let's do some combat then. Yeah, okay, let me get the combat cards up. Right, so 2 combats. So which one do you want to do first? This one's into rough. You've got 3 armies, and you've got bush. No OB. In fact, forget about OBs now. None of them are doing anything. Bush has a chance of cancelling the reduction by rolling a grade. No, he doesn't. Because that's only on defense. Okay, so Bush does nothing. And von Kuklar's our other AG head here, who is dissident, he does nothing as well. He wants to be defending and rough, and yeah, that's why I want to get back in here. So AG heads in both areas do nothing. Oh yeah, that's a relevant point. The fact this has got 3 stacking, we would only be able to attack with 3 armies anyway. So yeah, that's quite good actually. But they are going to get yeah, we've got a fresh combat deck, so I can't look at any cards that have been discarded, so it's just off the top. I want to say the last one we drew off the top was it not card 20 or something? The last time we shuffled the deck up, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. So no AG head's going to help. We're going to get access to 6s and 5s. You know what, I'm not going to look through them, I'm just going to pick one. Area controls in the 2 box. Which one's the more important one? I sort of feel like the more important one's Hungary. Just to get Debrecen back again. So let's go with that. Because while this is at 2, it's slightly better. So yeah, I'm going to go for Debrecen. I'm not going to bother bringing von Kuklar out. Well, we need to draw a card. Well, it's definitely going to be a combat anyway. Right, so Soviet faction defending in 1943. Defending 1943. So reduction in 3 dice. See, and von Kuklar would have cancelled that special effect if he'd been defending in rough. That's why not? Right, okay. That's what it is, you know. So reduction and 3 dice they're getting. Okay. We like I say, there's no point bringing von Kuklar out. We've not got an OB, so we're going to look at the generals. We get access to there's 2 6. Well, actually, it's not 5s. It's 6s and 4s, which could be quite interesting. I want to say these 4s are pretty good. So I want to find somebody. Remember, we are getting a reduction, unless of course I can cancel that. Yeah, and I've just realised we're attacking into rough. Oh no. I mean, yeah, I want to take this back, but this is going to be tough. So that's a reduction in 4 dice, basically. So we're attacking into NA. Do not apply mandatory reduction. I'm not going to be doing a second advance. That's defending. That's defending. Reduction is going to be the loss of a reduced army. So that card's pretty decent, actually. That's alright. The combat's in rough, right? Okay. That's attacking into. Yeah, I've only got 2 choices, really. I've only got 2 choices. This is the poorer of the 2, I think. That's defending, Grant, so you're not getting that. That's not. I've only got 1 chance. I've only got 1. This is it. They're all on the defense, and right. Hang on. I shouldn't have done that. Right. So this looks like the only guy we've got, and Jürgen von Arnim. Oh no, he's no good either, Grant. That's against the Western faction. I've not got anybody. That feels harsh. Defending, attacking into river. No, we're attacking into rough. So that's not any good either. That's defending. That's attacking or defending, but it's Western faction. Okay, I've got to pick one of these, but well, I'm going to get rid of one of the 2 6s, I think. Well, I mean, I already spoke of these 2 guys. This guy might become of use, maybe. I don't think Guderian's going to be that much useful in the rest of the game, so I'm going to bring him in. So we've got 1 6 left. So we've got no general help at all. Is this really how it went, Carlos? Just, don't know. I feel like he struggled with the generals quite a lot, but I don't know. Maybe I'm making a bad choices. Maybe I've made bad choices throughout, and that's why I'm struggling with these. I mean, right there and then, before we moved out of the command phase, I quite possibly could have replaced von Kukwa. I could have maybe moved somebody else into his place. Maybe. Maybe I'm saying maybe. To be honest, I'm not that sure. I could have, but anyway, okay. Right, so we've got Guderian with us, who's, well, if we happen to advance a second advance, then we don't take a mandatory reduction, but our attacks in a rough. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, it's that one, isn't it? So he actually would allow that. Well, there you go, Grant. That's not terrible. I'm not sure I want to be in there, but you did say that if you took Ukraine, it would allow Belarus to try and take Moscow. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm way behind, way behind time for all this. But you know, I can see if it'd been a year or so ago, this would have been what you would be thinking. But okay, right. Well, okay. So at least he does do something. If we succeed here, we can advance into Vinnytsia. Is that an H at the end? No, I don't know. I think it's an A. Right. Anyway, into that sector. Okay, let's do it. Our generals are. Well, I suppose he does have that. Right, we're going to take a reduction. Great. There's no reduced armies, so we're going to lose a dice here as well. We're not going to win this. So I've got to take a reduction first. And let's say there's no reduced armies. So I've got to, and there wasn't a Panzer Army there, so I've got to take that as a reduction. And then Allies are going to have a roll. Now, because they're defending in rough, they're going to get a +1. Air naval control is at 2, so they're not getting they're Soviets as well, so they don't get that anyway. There's no +1s adjacent to Ukraine, no. So they were getting 3 dice, they're now getting 4 dice. The attacks in rough, 4 red dice. Yeah, this surely. I mean, we're on the attack as well, so our guns don't do anything. So we need a few events to roll here, I think. Right, here's the Allied die roll. 1 event, 1 air hit. Well, actually, that's only 2 hits. That was a good roll. That's going to be 2 hits. So an event, 2 air, and our air naval controls. Well, it's at 2, so the first one's going to knock it down to 1, and then the other one's going to become a hit. So it's only 2 hits, right? So we've got 2 grey and a white. Now all of these need to be a hit. So hits, tanks, or the guns. The guns still count as 1 hit, but I need all 3 as a result, don't I? Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Come on. 3 hits required. No blank on the white. Go on. Yes. We've got 3. We've got this. Unless the event. Oh, one of them was a tank now. I thought it was both guns. But anyway, they're both hits. These are all hits, 3 hits. Like I say, well, we'll see them now. Right, so event. Yeah, so let's deal with the combat event first then. Just in case it messes things right up. Let's hope it doesn't do that, because that was a good roll. It was a good roll for us, and a good roll for us on the Soviet side, really, to only end up with 2 hits. Right, combat event. Recall to active duty. Oh, this might bring a general back. The player who rolled the event. See, it doesn't matter, Grant. It doesn't matter. This is one of the cards, the player who rolled the event. Well, the player who rolled this event was the actual Soviets. So, but I think it means it's whoever rolled these dice. Although it was an event on the Soviet dice, it's whoever rolled these dice, and that's where the cooperative and competitive game, I think, comes into it. If you're the the head of such and such, then who would be rolling these dice at this time? It's them that gets to pick this general. Whereas us, we're the head of everything, remember? So we get to pick this general. So yeah, it's not a problem. I can see that now. Just the way the card says, the player who rolled the event result may choose one general previously removed from play and add him to the generals entering play the following year. General seniority must be 6 or lower, and he cannot have a misfortune rule. It does say just remove from the guys that have been removed with misfortunes, Grant, are not going to be able to come back anyway. So yeah, I've separated them in there. I'm thinking these have been removed from play, but the reason these ones up here were removed from play is due to misfortune, so they obviously got that on their cards. Please tell me Kesselring's. He's a 9. So I'm not getting Kesselring back anyway. The general seniority must be 6 or lower, and he cannot have a misfortune rule. Well, he didn't have a misfortune rule. That's cruel. Come on, Carlos. Give me a chance here. Right, so I've got to pick somebody that's been removed, that doesn't have a misfortune, and is a 6 or less in seniority. 1, 2. He's got a misfortune, so I can't pick him. So is he. Oh, well, he was a 7. There's 3 that I could have picked that have got misfortunes on them. Right, so I've only got the choice of 2 generals, and they're just going to come back in edge here. Von Wietinghoff, who's got a seniority of 5, and Joachim Lemelson, who's got a seniority of 4. This one's only against the Soviets, defending in rough. Had 1 white die. That's his combat role. Pretty good. I quite like him. I was quite sad to see him go. He is defending in any against any faction. However, roll 1 grey die instead of 1 white die, and that's his combat role. It feels slightly better, actually, doesn't it? Because he's got both factions and it's defending in anywhere. He's a 4, he's a 5. They're both confidence of 4. I'm going to take Lemelson, I think. Yeah, because Western faction defending. I mean, he can do that as well. And the Western faction defending. And, sorry, Western faction defending in rough, he gives you an extra dice. However, Western faction defending in rough for him, the extra white dice that you get, so if you didn't have a white army there, you're going to get 1 and roll a grey. So that sort of makes it even better, I think. So I'm going to leave him there. Right, I need Lemelson. There it is, middle. No. Right, so his counter comes back into the mix. Lemelson just goes. He just goes into the next year generals. So just going in this pile, so it will become an option for next year. That was it. Well, at least it's a good combat event. It's not a bad one. Add him at the generals entering play the following year. Yeah, okay. That was that done. So it was good. But I did think, I thought when Kesselring went away, I thought, there's maybe a chance of getting back. And then when I drew this card, I thought, here we go. Not to be. You're cruel, Carlos. You're cruel. Well, okay, I'm sure. I'm sure you've got reasons, and there's historical reasons to why that's the case and whatnot. I'm just struggling. As most folk playing this game are going to find that, and that's what it's meant to do, isn't it? Right, that's our event going. Right, so we've got 2 air hits. Remember, you only trigger the first one. So that gets down to 1. And now we're sitting at 1 there. And remember, we've got a whole Soviet offensive to come, and we're unlikely to be able to move that back up. And we've got another operations phase to come and more Soviet offensives. And yeah, it's horrible. So that resolved that one. The other one becomes a hit. They've got 2 hits. We've got 3 hits. So we succeed. This is a victory. We get to advance. Knocking that out of there. Taking that. That is now occupied. Now, do we consider this then? The fact you've got Guderian in play, probably should, eh? It's just we're in plains. There's no partisan in there though, so I don't actually need to leave an army in there. And yeah, we've got the chance to advance into Ukraine, into Vinnytsia, or whatever it is. Yeah, it's just horrible that it's plains, you know. There's a chance to take another resource. I mean, actually. Come on, Grant, think about this. 2 operations, a movement phase to come. We could maybe strengthen, get the 4th army back in here, attack into Kiev next operations phase, and advance the 2nd into Kharkov, taking the resource. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to advance a 2nd. Now, we've got Guderian. Actually, Grant, that doesn't go away. You create a new one, don't you? And we've got Guderian, remember? So do not apply the mandatory reduction if the head of army group decides to conduct a 2nd advance after combat. Okay? So that's what's happening. We're going to advance the 2nd one, pushing them back to Kiev. Into there. We're going to advance all our armies in here. and our AG head's going to follow on Kukor. He's defending him rough, isn't he? Yeah. That's why I wanted to be in there, but yeah, there's no partisan here, so I don't need to keep an army here. And and that becomes now disputed. So, but yes, we could take Ukraine. I mean, remember, they're going to have an attack back at us. So we might well get pushed back. And if that's the case, I go back into Hungary and just accept it. Maybe get questioned a bit, but, Right, that's just done with that combat. So get there in. Yeah, there you go. It did work. There you go. So it was me complaining to you about that Carlos, and he actually did something. So that's the wrong bit, Grant. So he's been activated. He's away. Yeah, but we could actually do him for the next attack as well. But anyway, actually. No. Whedon generals have to come from. No, I wouldn't be able to bring them back. And that's that combat card done. So that's going away. I was going to say that was card 3 as well. Yeah, still a reduction in 3 dice on the defense. So that's what you're up against. Right, I'm probably just going to finish this Axis offensive, and I think I'll probably have to call it there. I'm up early for work tomorrow, so I only got 3 days of work to go, and then I'm off for quite a bit, but I'm not sure what we're doing. It's my sort of holiday time this year. I've done the same as I've done last year, but I haven't really booked any sort of holidays, so... But pretty much off all of September. It's almost 4 weeks I'm off, so I'd like to think I could get at the table a little bit within that 4 weeks. I'd sort of like to play a bit of something else. I'm not saying that I'm getting tired of this. I certainly will complete this game. Now, I've got Enemy Action Ardennes, Allied Solo, wasn't it? Was it Allied Solo? I think it was. Behind me here, still sitting on the table, and I started that on my birthday, December the 16th, 2020. No, hang on. Yeah, December 16th, 2024. Yeah, on my special birthday, and this is us in. Almost coming up for September of 2025. So, but yeah, I did get into this game and left it, and that's what can happen. And I don't want to give up on that as well, but I sort of feel like something new. Yeah, you feel like something new, but then these games all get set up on these. I've got big tables and I can leave them set up, but eventually I can't leave. I've got 2 big tables and I've got a smaller table. And there's another game set up on that smaller table that I started long time ago, Red vs. Reverse, about the Second Boer War, isn't it? Which I was quite enjoying as well. And then as they move on, time moves on and you want to try something new, and you get something new coming in. And that's what happened here, or still would have been at Enemy Action Ardennes. But I've bought since getting this, I bought, what was the new little game that I got? Herman Luckman's Napoleon, small Napoleon solo game. I forgot the name of it now. Oh, Vive l'Empereur, something like that. Yeah, I'd quite like to have a shot at that. I don't know if it's being a terribly exciting thing to watch or not, to be honest. What was another game I was thinking about getting? I don't know, I've went off on a bit of a tangent here. I think there's a few things out there that I'm looking at, and there's a few things that I pre-ordered way back that I've not got, a few things that I need to get in touch with people to find out what's going on, and things like that. if anybody out there that watches that my stuff and enjoys the way I do it, which is, you can see the way I do it. It's slow and procedural and takes forever. If there's any games that you think that I might gel with, to be honest, it was Martin mentioned this game, and glad he did. And by all means, Martin, if there's other things out there that you think, as you've followed my videos for quite a while, you think I might be interested in, let me know and I can look into it. Because when he mentioned this, I looked into it, and then it was frustrating because you couldn't really get it, and then it popped up and I just jumped at it. I'm glad I did. It's been really good. Okay, let's finish this other combat here. So, or do I have time? Yeah, push the time, Grant. Push it. Right, so Baltic States into Leningrad. So this isn't rough as well. Yeah, it is, isn't it? And we're only attacking with 3 armies, but there was only a stacking limit of 3 there anyway. Bush, I want to say, is doing nothing with no... I think it's the same thing, eh? Yeah, Bush is only good on defence. We're going to have the same situation, aren't we? We're attacking into rough. We're not going to find a general here. Was I right? Yeah, it's the next to gain area as long as it's not rough. I'm just starting to doubt myself there. Oh, we attacked into there. If this area is plains or river, we can advance the second hex, can't we? It's not based on that one, is it? I'm sure I go... Let's just double check that, Grant, before you move on. So I'm looking for advance, something further on, advance. Partisan, no, I checked the partisan. Come on, who's it tell me about the second advance? Right, why am I not finding that? Come on. I'm looking under advance. Hang on, that's Axis Defender. No. Yeah, victory. Axis is an attacker. Apply 1 advance into the rough. Then the activated head of army group may conduct an optional second advance if the next sector is plains or river. Yeah, and it's not marked with a landing marker. Yeah, okay, we were right there. So, yeah, but we're not going to be able to do that here because the next area is going to be rough as well. And then I'm really not sure I want to carry out this attack anyway. But right, so we've no AG head that's going to do anything. We've no OB that's going to do anything, and I very much doubt we've got any a leading general that's going to do anything as well. If we got rid of this last 6, which, you know what, you might want to just chuck him in there then. Okay, we're going to draw a card, I think, aren't we? For the attack into Leningrad, into Luga. Let's draw a combat card. So, Soviet faction on the defense, 1943. There's card 20. Right, it didn't come first. But to be honest, the first card was card 3. Nice and gentle, wasn't it? Not really, it was a reduction in 3 dice. So we get card 20, it's a reduction in 4 dice. Yeah, whatever. Oh man. Right, we do have a reduced army, so we are going to be able to reduce that. Yeah, this is why you didn't want to even do this. Okay, so reduction and 4 dice. We go access to 6s and 4s as leading generals. But, I mean, we've just been through them all. We're not defending, we're not attacking into river. We're not defending, and we're not attacking the Western faction. Right, I can't use a general. So I'm just going to use the 6 guy now, because then it allows me access to 4s and 3s, right? Yeah. let's just do it. There's no point keeping hold of it. Right, so we've got no general assistance. We've to take a reduction, so that becomes that. So, and they're getting 5 days grand. How can you do this? Because it should have been in 1941 grant and not 1943. 1941 on the defence right now, they would be getting 2 dice. No reductions, just 2 dice. And that's why, I think. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 dice, and then +1 for the rough is 5 dice. We're on the attack here though. I want to say that it's not as brutal if it just becomes a defeat, isn't it? Number of hits from the Axis combat rolls equal to or lower than the number of hits from the Allied. Defeat, apply 1 reduction to 1 army that participated in the combat, flip the leading general. Yeah, so it's not as brutal when you're on the attack and you fail. You know, it doesn't mean we could have, like, they could have 5 hits here and we could have 1. It doesn't matter. If they have 5 hits and we have 5 hits, it's the same result, isn't it? Yeah, but for them to get, for us to have a chance, well, we're not getting a chance at 5 hits because we're on the attack into rough. But again, we need lots of events, and remember the air naval controls are 1 now as well, so yeah, this is not going to work, right? Okay, so, well, we got 1 event, so it's going to be 4 hits, I think. 1 event, the aircraft's going to be a hit, and the 3 hits are clearly going to be hits. So I say 4 hits. We're rolling 1 grey dice and 2 white dice, so we can't even succeed here. That's impossible. Well, it was the luck of the card, I suppose. Yeah. Well, there's no point. We're failing here. So 1 grey, 2 white. And remember, the gun's only 1 hit, so we've got 2 hits. So they are 4. Okay. That's what happened. So that blank does nothing. None of our generals can do anything. Let's draw an event. So combat event. Here we go. When leased to the USSR, that can't be good for us. The USSR is not a war. Well, it is. If combat is with the Western faction, it is not. So roll 1 Western die. If the result is an aircraft or a tank, +1 hit to the Allied combat roll in this combat, then New Year. Well, I suppose that was a good timing for that, because it's not going to matter, is it? So, no, I'll roll it anyway. So they rolled an aircraft, which is a +1 hit to the Allied combat roll in this combat. Yeah, okay. So basically what I'm going to do is, that's the event done, it's going to become an extra hit. Okay, and then this card goes to the New Year. Combat event card to the New Year. And then we resolve this combat. They have air naval controls at the 1 box, so this counts as a hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 5 hits. We've got 2 hits. So Axis hits is less than or equal to Allied hits. No advance and 1 reduction. Flip leading general to questioned. A reduction has to be. There's no reduced armies, so we have to take a hit on the reduced army. And we flip. Was it the leading? Just the leading general, wasn't it? Yeah, flip the leading general to questioned. So we stay where we are. That's coming away, and this guy is going to be questioned. So I'll put him. He's been activated enemy, so he's going to go above the activated slots. What is his? Blaskowitz. Right, hang on. Right, there he is. Oh, right, his confidence is a 2, so that's good. So his question, just put his marker up there on his card. And yeah, I didn't affect the weed in general there though. It's definitely right, isn't it? Was a defeat. Apply 1 reduction to 1 army that participated in the combat. Flip the leading general's marker to its question side. Yeah, okay, that's right. And 1 reduction. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of hopeless. Okay, if we got a better card. But even card 3 there, like we'd done, had 3 dice in a reduction. So, well, 3 dice is better than 4, but you need a lot of luck there, don't you? Okay, so that's the combat done. We defeated there. That card's going away. That is card 20 though. So that's good. Right, that's all our Axis offensive. That's us reached an hour. So moving into the Western offensive of the first operations phase of the summer of 1943. And I will stop there, I think. Right, yeah, I mean, I put these back here. I mean, I think I'm going to have a go at where do we move into? Ukraine. Yeah, I'm going to have a go in here anyway. So I'm going to place that black pawn. But still curious to know that if we didn't place a black pawn in this operation phase, the second operations phase, do we still get penalised? I sort of feel like we should get penalised for that, but I'm not 100%. So okay, right. I don't know when I'll be back. I've still got time. To be honest, I've probably still got time through the week here to do stuff, and then, like I say, I'm off for a good bit. We will be going away and doing things, but so I'll be back next chance I get it anyway. Okay, cheers.